Let's be real for a second. Picture this. You're a registered nurse. You are pulling in anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000 a year depending on where you live. That is fantastic, highly respectable money by any standard. But you finish a grueling 12-hour shift, drag yourself out to the hospital parking lot, pull up your banking app, and literally think, wait, where did my entire paycheck go? You're exhausted. You're giving everything to your patients, but you're still stressed about money, not really saving, and just watching it slip away. And you know, if you were a brand new nurse just starting out on the floor, you might already be feeling this intense pressure. Well, I want to validate exactly what you're feeling right now. It is absolutely not your fault, and you are definitely not alone in this.
Welcome back to Nurse Money. I'm so glad you're here for our explainer today because we're tackling the very foundation of your financial security. You see, the reason so many of us struggle isn't because of our salary, and it's for sure not because you're bad with money. The reality is, standard budgeting advice was never, ever designed for nurses. Those finance gurus, they're giving advice for people who work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, with perfectly predictable schedules and identical paychecks. But you and I both know that advice is completely detached from the grueling reality of our 12-hour shifts.
Section 1. The problem why standard budgets fail nurses. Let's really demystify why those traditional, rigid budgets are breaking your bank account. Trying to force a standard budget onto a nursing lifestyle is literally like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't work. First off, irregular paychecks. Most of us do not get the same amount every pay period, right? You've got overtime, night differentials, weekend pay, holiday pay, extra shifts. When your income fluctuates wildly from week to week, following a fixed monthly budget is practically impossible. Reason number 2. No consistent schedule. When you work 3 days one week and 5 the next, you're spending shifts. Some weeks you spend way more on takeout simply because you are physically incapable of cooking after back-to-back shifts. And reason number 3. Let's just be totally honest here. Emotional spending. After a brutal shift, you are incredibly vulnerable. You might find yourself buying expensive scrubs online at 2 in the morning, or ordering premium delivery just to feel human again. Standard budgets completely ignore the severe mental drain of what we do.
Section 2. The solution. The nurse money system.
But here's the good news. You don't need to change careers to get your money right. We actually have a system built specifically for our unpredictable lifestyle. I call it the nurse money system. It is incredibly low effort, and it's designed especially for those of you who might be total beginners when it comes to financial planning. Okay, step 1 is the absolute foundation of this whole thing. You need to budget from your lowest paycheck. Not your average, your lowest. I want you to pull up your bank app, look back at your last 6 paychecks, and find the absolute smallest one. So, for example, let's say over the last 6 pay periods, your checks range from $2,500 all the way down to $1,800 because you got sick and missed a shift. Guess what? Your new baseline is $1,800. You build your entire monthly budget around that $1,800. Why? Because by doing it this way, no matter what happens, you can always cover your essential expenses. Any extra money from overtime or differentials? That just becomes a fantastic bonus that goes straight towards your savings.
Okay, step 2 is where we completely remove the headache of tracking every single penny. Because, let's face it, nobody has the energy for that. Let's introduce the zero jargon 3-bucket system. It's a spin on the classic 50-30-20 rule, but we're adjusting it specifically for that lowest baseline paycheck we just talked about. Bucket 1 is 50% of that baseline check. This is for your fixed expenses, your absolute non-negotiables, rent, car payments, utilities. Bucket 2 is 30% for variable spending. This is your guilt-free money for groceries, gas, eating out, entertainment. And bucket 3? That's 20% dedicated strictly to your financial goals. This is the bucket that changes your future. It's for your emergency fund, investing, or aggressively crushing those nursing school loans that have been hanging over your head since graduation.
Step 3 is all about acknowledging our sheer fatigue. You have to automate everything you possibly can. Set up automatic transfers the very day after your paycheck hits your account. Money for savings should automatically route to a high-yield savings account. Your bills, set them to autopay. Listen, when you are dead tired after a grueling 12 hours on the floor, your willpower is effectively zero. You cannot be expected to make disciplined transfer decisions when your feet ache and you haven't slept. So when your money management is fully automatic, you don't even have to rely on willpower. It's brilliantly designed to run flawlessly in the background while you're at home sleeping off your shift.
Now, step 4 is my absolute favorite. This is a golden rule just for us. No financial decisions within 2 hours of finishing a shift. Think about it. You clock out, you're emotionally drained, physically exhausted, and you are totally vulnerable to buying things you do not need just to get a quick dopamine hit, right? So no late-night online shopping in the hospital parking lot. No signing up for random subscription boxes. No booking expensive weekend trips just because you had a terrible shift and need an escape. Give yourself at least 2 hours to drive home, decompress, take a hot shower, and actually rest first. I promise you, this one behavioral rule alone can realistically save you hundreds of dollars every single month by stopping those impulse purchases in their tracks.
Section 3. Budgeting tools for irregular income.
So now that we've got the framework, how do we actually execute it? You do not need anything overly complicated, but having the right tool takes all the friction out of the process, especially if this is your first time taking this seriously. Here's the clear comparison of your 2 best options. On one side, we have an app called YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. It is hands down the best app out there for variable income. Why? Because it uses digital envelope budgeting. Instead of forecasting what you think you'll earn next month, YNAB only lets you budget the dollars you physically have in your account right now. It adapts perfectly to nursing paychecks. Now, it does have a bit of a learning curve. So if you want something free and straightforward, a simple Google Sheet or Excel spreadsheet with your 3 buckets works beautifully. It's totally free, very easy to grasp, but you do have to manually punch in your numbers on payday. You just have to pick whatever matches your tech comfort level.
Whichever digital tool you choose, I highly suggest this physical setup. Open 3 completely separate bank accounts for your 3 buckets. One check-in account for fixed expenses, a second check-in account for variable spending, and a separate high-yield savings account for your goals. The exact moment you get paid, route your money into these specific accounts. This creates a really powerful psychological barrier. Your financial goals become out of sight, out of mind. You won't accidentally spend your rent money on a nice dinner because that money lives in an entirely different account that you don't even carry the debit card for. It is just a foolproof way to keep your boundaries intact.
Section 4. Action Plan. 5 steps to start immediately.
I know we've covered a lot today, but I promise you have got this. Let's synthesize everything into an actionable plan that you can do right now. Seriously, grab your phone and take a screenshot of this checklist. Step 1. Pull up your bank app right now, look at your last 6 paychecks, and find the lowest one. Boom, that's your new baseline. Step 2. Take that exact number and divide it into your 50, 30, and 20% buckets. Step 3. Log into your bank and set up those automatic transfers. Step 4. Choose your weapon. Sign up for a free trial of YNAB or just open a blank spreadsheet. And Step 5. Commit right now to the 2-hour post-shift rule. Protect yourself from yourself. That is truly all it takes to build a functional nurse budget.
Budgeting as a nurse is uniquely challenging, but as we've seen today, it absolutely does not have to be complicated. Once you set this system up, it just runs quietly in the background of your busy life. Now, if you have any questions at all about setting up your baseline, or maybe how to handle a really specific irregular expense, please drop your questions in the comments below. I read every single one, and we are all in this community together to help each other succeed and find some real financial peace.
Building a solid budget is an amazing first step to claiming your financial freedom. But what if you want to aggressively accelerate those financial goals without burning yourself out on endless overtime shifts? Well, coming up next time on our Nurse Money Explainer, we are diving into side hustles that actually work around nursing shifts. If you want to earn extra income without the exhaustion of another bedside shift, you will not want to miss these ideas. How can you leverage your deep nursing knowledge right from your couch? Make sure you join me next time to find out.